Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're tackling a really big one, drawing from the sources you've shared. It's about India's caste system, and specifically what might actually happen if caste-based reservations were, removed.
Yeah.
Our job here is really to dig into these materials and understand the different viewpoints.
Yeah, this goes right to the core, doesn't it? The real tension seems to be what happens if you pull out this system that's been so central for so long and for many, a tool for justice.
It's a huge question, and something the sources make really clear up front is that you can't even talk about ending reservations without first acknowledging the history, the historical injustice that led to them in the first place. So the materials seem to break this down into two main bits. First, the good and bad possibilities if things changed, and second, maybe more constructively, some alternative ways forward.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Starting with those potential positives. If caste and reservations were gone, what's the upside the sources see? Well, the sort of ideal vision presented in some arguments is that things like jobs, education, they become purely merit-based. The thinking is this could boost efficiency, make things more competitive, and they also suggest maybe less caste politics, less mobilizing around caste identity, which potentially could mean better governance, maybe more national unity down the line. And long-term, the idea is caste itself might weaken, leading to more social mixing based on, well, talent or maybe class, not birth.
Hmm. Okay, but those sound like long-term ideals. The sources seem to quickly switch gears to the immediate downsides, like a warning. Hold on, here are the gaps. What are those risks?
Exactly. It's like they're saying, not so fast. Without fixing the underlying issues first, there's a real danger of making inequality worse for the groups historically left behind. We're talking Dalits, OBCs, people often lacking the same access to good schools, jobs, the right networks. And then there's representation. These groups could just lose their voice, essentially, in government jobs, universities, politics, being shut out. Plus, you've got the very real possibility of social backlash, unrest, communities feeling betrayed, losing something they see as vital for justice.
That interconnectedness really stands out, doesn't it? Like, just removing reservations isn't a solution if the foundations aren't fair to begin with. It might just lock in those old disadvantages. So if that's the dilemma, what's the other path? How do the sources suggest uplifting marginalized communities without using caste reservations?
All right, this is where it gets really interesting. The sources lay out this multi-pronged, kind of inclusive approach. 6 main strategies, actually. First up, class-based affirmative action. So shifting the focus from caste to actual disadvantaged poverty, lack of opportunity. This way, support goes to anyone who genuinely needs it, whether they're poor Dalits, poor OBCs, or even poor from upper castes, targeting need itself.
Okay, so based on economics, not just identity, what's next?
Second, quality education for all. And this isn't just tinkering, it's about a massive investment. Improving government and rural schools, scholarships, free coaching, places to stay, digital access, making sure kids in rural areas get English, coding, STEM, really leveling the playing field early on.
Makes sense. Education first. What's the third strategy?
Third is about equal economic opportunities. So practical stuff, skill development programs, loans for startups, microfinance for small businesses, especially in marginalized communities, and also pushing for job creation outside the big cities, in rural and semi-urban areas, building local economies.
Right, creating chances where people actually live. Number 4.
Fourth, representation through inclusion. This focuses more on, say, the private sector, encouraging diversity hiring, maybe voluntarily, maybe with incentives, and also creating leadership programs to help groom talent from underrepresented backgrounds.
Okay, shifting mindset and opportunity there. What about the cultural side?
That's number 5, cultural and social reforms. This is about tackling the prejudice head-on. Strict laws against caste discrimination, yes, but also actively promoting inter-caste marriage, maybe with incentives, and using education and media to change how people think.
A deeper societal shift. And the last one.
And finally, number 6, local development, just improving the basics in areas where lower castes often live. Better water, reliable electricity, healthcare, roads, fundamental quality of life improvements.
Wow. Okay. So pulling this all together, this deep dive shows a really tough dilemma, but also, well, some clear ideas for how to move towards a more equitable society. It seems the sources are saying it's not about just stopping support, but replacing it strategically.
That's the core message, exactly. The principle seems to be, don't just remove support, replace it with something better, broader, and fairer.
Yeah.
But it's clear this isn't easy. It needs a huge systemic commitment, real structural change.
Absolutely. It definitely leaves you thinking, beyond policy, what really stands out to you listening in about what it takes to build a society where, your birth doesn't dictate your chances? What are those deeper changes we need?